She's the secret weapon behind countless comedic successes. A master of improv, a guru of connection, and a champion for authentic self-expression. Get ready to experience the transformative power of Claudine Ullman!
Angel Doves, how many of you want to be able to access your unique zone of comedic genius and become so good at that comedic genius and your unique skills that they won't ignore you? Say yes. Angel Doves, how many of you want to earn money? Never mind earn money. Have a career in comedy, telling jokes, doing the type of comedy that you love from your unique zone of genius? Say yes. I am going to be working with you today to teach you the headliner framework. This is my proven framework to take you from open market to icon, where I'm going to show you how to access your zone of genius and become so bloody good that they cannot ignore you. So if you are feeling blocked in any way in your stand-up comedy career, if you are feeling like you're struggling to get to the next level in terms of development and growth, if you are midway through your career, you're not yet making money, or if you are struggling to actually know what your unique voice or your unique style of comedy is, you are going to benefit massively from the next 20 minutes. So a little bit about my story. So I, like some of you, went to university because I had bought into the lie that if I went to university and got a degree, I would come out of university with a stable job, earning a stable salary, and, have some sort of guarantee of a life ahead of me. Well, I went to university and then came out of university and got a huge shock when I went to go and visit one of the biggest agents in South Africa. And I remember I took my CV and there was nothing on the CV, but I was so excited. And he didn't even look at the CV. He took one look at me and he said, "Claudine, you're too large to be in the industry." Now, how many of you have ever been looked in directly in the eye yet felt completely unseen? Because this is what happened to me. And I remember I was completely broken because I placed my worth and my value in the eyes of somebody else. Okay. And I remember I was just completely down and out. I had a dream board, and on my dream board there was a big picture of Amy Poehler, and underneath there was a quote that she had said, that improv is like the military, we leave no man behind. And I remember I was feeling so left behind by a South African industry that had promised me that I would get in because of talent, and I didn't have to fit a certain mold. Okay, so I bought into all of those lies and all the lies that society had told me. And in that moment, seeing that vision board, I made a decision right then and there that I was going to master this thing. I was going to do whatever it takes to become so good that they couldn't ignore me. So I had to raise money. I had to raise funds because I didn't have funds, and I applied to every single grant scheme in South Africa, and I raised enough money to go to New York, LA, and Chicago for as long as I could, to do as many comedy courses that I could, and really try and master the art of improv comedy. And I remember once I made the decision to go, I knew it was right for me because I heard a story about giraffes and turtles that I want to tell you. Okay? So we all eat at the level of our vision. All right? Giraffes are in the Sahara overlooking they are eating at the level of the trees, overlooking the plains of Africa, okay? And the turtles are down at the bottom, at the ground, eating at the level of their vision, okay? They cannot see what you can see. They do not have the same vision. Okay, and you can't get mad at the turtle because the turtle can only lift its head so high, and the turtle is criticizing or judging from their point of view. So it was in that moment that I decided that I am a giraffe and I have a vision, and I'm not going to acquiesce myself to the level of the turtle, and I am going to become so good at this thing that they cannot ignore me. And so I went to New York, LA, and Chicago, and I had this transformative experience. I had two major ahas. The first major aha I had was I realized my unique comedic genius. I found it. I found her using improv comedy techniques. And I was like, oh, I'm here to get good at Claudine's style of comedy, not to get good at improv comedy. And this was huge for me. This was huge. I discovered my unique zone of genius. Okay. And if I look back throughout my career, anytime I have pursued a different aspect of my career, I did beauty queening for a while. I did stand-up comedy. I still do stand-up comedy. It's just a different version. But when I first started doing stand-up, I was doing stand-up to get good at stand-up. And I remember feeling like I had hit a brick wall. Like I just was completely blocked. And I was wondering why I was so bad at the thing. And I was so bad at the thing because I was trying to emulate Sarah Silverman and Dave Chappelle instead of trying to emulate my own unique zone of genius. Okay? So once you can discover that unique zone of genius, your career can totally take off, because what the world is looking for is not another Sarah Silverman or Dave Chappelle, but another you. Okay? So the second big aha I had is I looked around the improv classes that I was taking, and I realized that I was one of the only people there who had an intention of taking improv and taking clowning and physical comedy to get good at comedy. Everyone else in the class was, there were students and doctors, and there was some dude in finance, and, everyone else in the classes I was attending was there to use comedic skills to get good at life. And I was like, wait a minute, this doesn't exist in Africa. So I was like, I'm going to bring this home, and I'm going to start the first corporate individual improv comedy training company for Africa. And so Jittery Citizens was born. Over the last decade and a bit, I have worked with some of the most genius, hilarious comedians to help them access their zone of genius. I have performance directed for Netflix and for Showmax. I've worked with Fortune 500 companies like Ogilvy and Unilever and Mercedes-Benz. And the reason why I say this is not to impress you. It's not to impress you, but to impress upon you what is possible when you access your zone of genius and become a key person of influence in your industry using that zone of genius. So I'm going to ask, if you are watching here today, somebody say, coach me, coach. I'm going to coach you. I'm going to ask you to take massive action. I'm going to ask you to go pro. I'm going to ask you to go all in. You are done being an amateur. You are done being an open micer, okay? It is time to go pro, to get in the game, take massive action, make quick decisions, to go in on yourself, all in on yourself, and totally invest in your career and your future. So some of you are probably asking yourselves, what is improv? So improv comedy is the art of creating something magical on the spot. It is the art of creating something hilarious on the spot. And we all have an innate ability to improvise. It's more about us moving out of our own way and our ability to unblock ourselves and move out of our own way that will allow our improv and comedic genius to come out. Okay, so Charles Lim did the most fantastic exercise where he saw what happens to the brain when we improvise. What happens to the brain is the prefrontal cortex, which is the part of the brain in the front, which is responsible for creative flow, prayer, meditation. That part of the brain gets nice and glows, like lights up, gets nice and neuroplasticizes, whatever the word is. And the part of the brain that shuts down and goes cold is the part of the brain that says, I'm not funny, I'm not good enough, I can't do this, self-sabotage. Okay? Improv comedy is also high vibe, okay? When we improvise, the first rule of improv that we learn is yes and. And because it is yes and, we are in a state of willingness, acceptance, reasoning, okay? But we're mindful, we're playing within a set of rules. So there's joy, there's enlightenment, we're in touch with the highest version of ourselves. So improv is high vibing. And if you can master the art of improv comedy, even if you are wanting to pursue straight stand-up, setup, punchline, okay? You will be able to interact with audiences. You will be able to connect with audiences on a different level because you are high vibing. All right. So I want to teach you about the 4 levels of value. So there's 4 levels of value when it comes to working and having a career. Okay, the first level is implementation. So this is the implementers are people like waitresses, Uber drivers, nail technicians, okay, anybody who's really like doing a service. And you have a max capacity to earn about $80,000. Okay, and the lie that implementers have in their head, or the limiting false belief, is I need to work harder in order to be successful. Okay. Next up, we have unification, which is the managers. Okay, these are the people that manage teams, and their upper limit is about $250,000. And the lie that they have bought into is they need to study more in order to get more money. Okay, now I'm going to encourage you not to work harder, okay, but to work higher. So, the next level, which is the level that we are operating on. So if you are not earning money as a comedian, this should be where we want to move to, okay? And this requires that we master communication. Okay, once we are a master communicator and we are able to tell jokes and share our unique gifts and share our unique message with the world, we can earn anything up to about 10 million. The real money comes in. Now, I know some of us are looking at this chart and you are saying, Claudine, I am still doing open mics. I am getting paid nada. It's a journey. It's a journey. But the real money starts to flow when we find our unique genius, we become a key person of influence, and we start to use our imagination to package and to package our communication skills in different offerings, okay? Whether that is doing stand-up comedy shows and touring the world, writing for television, becoming a coach, becoming a public speaker, whatever that is, we're able to use our imagination to create offerings using our communication skills. Okay. My unique genius is to help people get from the lower two levels and to operate and to dominate from their communication and their imagination. Okay. In their zone of genius. So it is possible to earn money and to have a career as a comedian. And I am not for 1 second saying, go all in. And if you have a side job or a side hustle, put yourselves at risk. No, but have a dream and a vision and a mission and realize what is possible when you are able to go to the next level, when you are able to master communication, access your unique zone of genius, and then use your ideas to package your communication skills in different ways. Okay. So here is the framework from open mic to icon. This is the framework that I have used over and over again with different comedians, with corporates, and with individuals who are looking to up-level, master communication, and master ideation. So level number 1 is to go from the open mic and aim. What do I mean aim? When I say aim, I mean create a future vision for yourself. See what is possible. Okay? I want you to have a plan, work your plan your work, as they say, okay? But have that aim knowing that a career in comedy is not only possible, but it is exceptionally lucrative, okay? Once you have that aim and you have decided to go all in, I want you to do whatever it takes to train. And what I mean by train is do whatever courses, enroll in whatever programs, access a coach or a mentor who will help you access your unique zone of genius and train at becoming so good at you that no one can ignore you. Okay, whatever style of comedy that is. And I say whatever style of comedy that is because if I look at, I now live between London and South Africa, and at the moment I'm in London, and you see what's happening in the Edinburgh Festival and who's winning these awards. And it's not just straight stand-ups. It's not just straight stand-ups. And for so long in the South African comedy industry, I felt that if I wasn't a straight stand-up, I was not accepted. And so I had to ideate and I had to use my imagination to create different platforms for my comedy to exist. But in so doing that, I've been able to go global with my comedy. Okay? So know that there is a place for your style of comedy. And if there is not a place for your style of comedy, create one. And look, people are going to get pissed off. You're going to come, I remember, performing on straight lineups and people not understanding what I was doing with props and audience interaction, and producers getting angry that I was using different props and messing the stage. And I actually was like, this is holding me back, having to perform on other people's stages. I want to be on a stage where I can mess the stage and call the audience up and interact with the audience in the way I want to. And so I started creating my own one-woman shows that I would tour the bloody world with. Okay? So create a platform for yourself and your style of comedy to exist. Then I want you to think as comedy and the stand-up comedy world as a game, as getting in there, performing, playing, failing, experimenting as much as possible. Okay, get on stage as much as you can and just experiment. Okay, really explore your style of comedy and push it to the limits. Okay. Then what's going to happen is you're going to start to develop a name. Claudine, she's an improviser. She's a physical comic. She does a lot of audience interaction stuff. And eventually you're going to start to get known as a key person of influence within the comedy industry, because people will start to know you as the improv guy or the improv girl, okay? And this will actually benefit you because you will stand out, because nobody can do what I can do. Okay. And nobody can do what you can do. So if you want to become famous or you want to get a name, you need to become so good at you. Okay. And you need to master your unique comedic genius. Now, if you truly want to become an icon, the next step that you have to do is you need to create platforms for other comedians to perform on, to learn from you. Okay? So you need to take your knowledge, your failures, your successes, everything that worked and didn't work, and share that with comedians who are coming up. And that is how you grow an industry. That is how you create a name for yourself. And that is how you become truly iconic. So Angel Doves, a lot of you are asking, what happens next? So if you guys want to delve deeper and really get into accessing your unique zone of genius, I want you to apply to become a citizen today. This citizenship is going to allow you monthly access to our membership site. What's in our membership site, you are asking? Well, you are going to get the tools, the techniques that you need to discover your comedic genius and to find that voice and to become a key person of influence. Here is what you are going to get. You're going to get access to my Instant Comedian Toolkit. This alone has a value of over £279 because you are going to get everything you need to craft your first 5 minutes of killer comedy, to think like a comedian, to create like a visionary. I'm talking guides, roadmaps, checklists, how to get booked on stages, scripts, so everything you need to write and perform those first 5 minutes of killer comedy. You're going to get access to my fundamental principles of improv comedy guide. In that guide, it's solo exercises that are going to get you started on your improv comedy journey, that are going to allow you to access your unique brilliance, to switch off your self-sabotage center that is telling you that you're not good enough and you can't do this and you're not funny, and is going to allow you to start creating from top of intelligence and start creating comedy on demand. You're going to get access to monthly masterclasses run either by myself or by a celebrity guest coach. This alone has a value of £479, and you're going to get access to this for free. Okay, we're going to have monthly jam sessions, monthly writing and accountability and feedback sessions, and you're also going to get access to our resource library. So whenever I find a resource or something that is going to enable you to become the highest version of yourself or the highest version of yourself as a performer, I'm going to include that in the resource library, and that's going to be constantly updated. Your total value that you are getting per month is over £858. But your investment today is only £11.11. This monthly membership is going to be going up pretty soon. We're going to be charging over £97 per a month. But I want to do something incredible for you. So if you are an early adopter, I'm talking about if you sign up for your citizenship today as a founding member, I am going to lock in £11.11 for life. That is going to be your monthly subscription for life, and the price will never, ever, 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 ever go up. So if you sign up today, you're going to lock in that monthly subscription. I cannot wait to hold your hand through this journey, for you to become a citizen and to grow and learn together in this beautiful community of comedians, improvisers, clowns, performers, and to really become the highest version of yourself. So angel doves, remember, stand up, stand out, and stay hilarious.